Just two seconds, everyone. Okay, good evening, everyone. My name is Adrian Hibbert. I'll just give a quick introduction to myself. Bit of a change of a plan tonight. I'm going to be passing straight on to Duggan for the presentation. I've had a bit of a hectic day today. I've rushed back, and I've had one of those days, basically, property related and networking related. A lot of business presentations going on today on the phone networking and the intrabiz network. So yeah, I've been out flat out today, just basically networking, and had a bit of a hard day. But anyway, so what I'm going to do is I can see most of the people on tonight are normally the regulars. There's one or two, well, 3 or 4, I think, newbies. But what we need to really start doing, guys, is bringing new prospects on to this 9 o'clock session every Wednesday, obviously. So we need to get the numbers up to sort of, 30, 40, 50 plus, if we can. So basically, we need to start either emailing people prior to this event or the day before, or 3 hours before, Skyping people, getting some kind of system in place. Obviously, I've got an autoresponder system in place, where everybody I meet, like for instance today, I've met a lot of connections today. We exchange business cards, and the first thing I do is put that business card, email, and name into my system. I use an autoresponder, and then what that autoresponder does, it follows up on a daily basis. So I basically keep in touch with these people very regularly, at least once a week. So I'm keeping them in the system. And so they always sort of know who I am, basically, and what I'm sort of working on. So I'm not sure what you guys are up to these days, but people try and get a system in place. We need to get the numbers up on these prospecting events on a Wednesday night. Just obviously for your benefit as much as mine. So what I'm going to do now straight away is rather than sort of give the introduction about myself, which I normally do, most people know who I am. We're going to pass it straight on to Gerwin. Gerwin's going to quickly go through the presentation, and then we can have a bit of a Q&A, or perhaps bring a few live people in and have a live chat. I'm at my parents' home tonight, and that's why I'm not on video, because I got a bit of a slow connection tonight, and if I switch the video on, it's going to start breaking up, and I haven't got my laptop. I'm on quite an old computer tonight. So bear with me if anything sort of starts breaking down. But anyway, Gerwin, are you there?
I am.
Okay, Gary, if you could just do us a great favour and quickly introduce yourself. I've known you for the last 4 years, and I was introduced to this business, Viral Angels, on the 9th of May by Gerwin. So I've known Gerwin for 4 years. I have been aware of the Viral Angels business for the last 2 years, but never really took the action. But after a few phone calls from Gerwin over the last 6, 12, sort of 2 years, more or less, I finally decided to join on the 9th of May. I started on a gold membership, €89 a month. I've now upgraded to an emerald membership, which is I think about $585 a month. I've also put €5,000 in on a credit card as an extra sort of investment to accelerate my share investment. So that's me done. And if any of you want to share a screen with me throughout the week, I'm always available for sharing screen and 3-way calls. Anyway, over to you, Gerwin, for quickly going through the presentation, and perhaps we'll go to a quick Q&A and through some questions later on.
Okay, thanks, Adrian. Yes, it's been a very busy day today, so I'm going to go through this relatively quickly, and then we'll do a little bit different there by answering some questions. And maybe I don't really know how to work this software, so Adrian can open up the mics for anybody who wants to ask anything. So let me just share the screen a second. Okay, can you see that?
Yes, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay, marvelous. Okay, 2 years ago, or 2 years and 3 months ago, I was invited to take a look at Viral Angels and first met Tony Norman. And quite frankly, I didn't have a clue what he was talking about. But after doing a bit of research, if you like, on this type of investment, I got quite excited by it, and we decided to, me and a few other people decided to sort of run with it. And for the first 12 months, it was slow, to say the least, because for VA to be bringing in decent companies, the first thing they need is numbers of people, because that's what the companies are looking for, is basically shareholders. And about a year ago, the business sort of got some traction, and now well, this year has just been phenomenal. We went from 600 and sort of 700 members to over 5,000 members in the space of a couple of months, and this is growing like crazy. But one thing that we got to be aware of in this is that it's not Viral Angels doesn't aim to be the biggest company, but it aims to be the best, and they will be closing the doors at approximately 25,000 members, because obviously they need to deliver value to the members, and they certainly don't want to be bringing companies on board which are not cherry-picked as they are at the moment, just to up the amount of shares that they can give to their members. So this will be closing the doors at 25,000 members. So the time to act on this is now, especially with the windfall campaign. So basically, what and I'll run through that later after this. Basically, what Viral Angels is a credit union. It's a closed club of private investors. It was interesting. 2 days ago, I had a phone call from a financial guy, and I don't know where they got my number from. Obviously, they'd got it from somewhere, but it was. They said, "Do you invest?" And I said, "Yes, I do." "Or what kind of investments do you look? Would you be looking to receive any help and advice on what to do?" I said, "Well, I'm a member of a private investors club." And he said, "Oh, what's that?" And I told him about Philip Reed and what we're doing, and he actually signed up yesterday, which is quite interesting. I'm not taking their services, but he's taking ours, which is pretty cool. But anyway, that's another story. It was founded in 2012. It operates in 17 small countries now. This a couple of months out of date. It's got members in 70 plus countries, and its main offices are in Sweden, Stockholm, and also in London, in Flintoff Street, I do believe. And if anybody wants to check that out, you just go to Viral Angels Corporate Advisors, and you can check out its regulated offices in London. And the chairman of Viral Angels is a guy by the name of Philip Reed, who used to be one of the top knobs in Merrill Lynch, and very, very excited to have him on board, because he brings a tremendous amount of credibility into our business in such a financially regulated industry, which is brilliant for us, because then we've got obviously protection. So what does Viral Angels do? Well, it selects companies and takes a strong stockholding position. And so, IE as an example, and this is the example that I always use because I know the figures. A couple of months ago, they took on partnered up with a company called MyCab, and MyCab is a luxury airport transfer company, and they took 10% of that company in shares. Now, obviously, Viral Angels had invested capital into them as well, but they took 10% of the company in shares, which equated to 40 million shares. Now, like it says at the bottom, 20% of those, or 8 million, were retained by VA, and 32 million, or 80%, were allocated out to the membership based on whatever level they were subscribing at. So by us paying a membership into this, an affordable, I must add, membership into this club, then we are compensated in the form of shares in these up-and-coming companies. So what that does is it increases the number of shareholders. And going back to what I was saying at the beginning, where in the beginning we didn't have enough shareholders, because for a company to go onto a main stock market, it needs somewhere in the region of 2,000. So once we surpassed that figure, then basically companies were knocking at the door, and Tony is perpetually getting bombarded with companies that want to partner up with VA for obvious reasons. He was even saying that one company in London wanted 100% exclusivity with VA to market everything through them as well, and of course Tony told them no in no uncertain terms, but it raises capital for the companies and assists marketing, and also it helps them prepare for an initial public offering, because the guys behind VA have got 200 plus companies under their belts over the past many years, so they actually know what they're doing, so they can give their expertise into companies which want to go public. Now, what do you get with VA? First of all, you get free weekly shares. On a Wednesday night, if there's people on this webinar who have not yet activated their account or are not yet in or don't know what the hell I'm talking about, then the actual shares are allocated on a Wednesday at about 11:30. So anybody who joins by 11 o'clock tonight, you will have your first allocation of shares today, which is fantastic. You'll get an email saying, congratulations, you have new shares, which is James, who's on this call tonight, gets very excited when he gets up on a Thursday morning, because he's got his email saying that he's got shares in some up and coming promising company. So there's no need for big personal capital, and you only pay a fixed, affordable membership that fits your budget. There's certain different levels which you can come in at. Please don't choose one you can't afford, because that's not what we're in this game for. We are in this to be in it for the long term. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. Anybody who thinks that this is going to produce a revenue share or anything like that for a short period, then it's not going to happen. It's probably not for you. This is something which is a long-term investment. We call it a wealth creation business, or that's what I call it anyway, because I'm not interested in small sums or large sums of money for a short period of time, or small sums of money for a long period of time. I want a large sum of money for a long period of time, and that is a definite rarity out there at the moment, because most of us haven't got the knowledge to do it. Okay, so pick a membership which you can actually afford over a period, over the long term, not over the short term. You can, but the key to this is if you want to, you can trade the shares when you want. There's no need to wait until they're listed. And I said this earlier on when I'd done a training webinar. So back in January, I signed a guy up in north of England, and he paid for I think it was 3 months, and that was when we were having a lot of shares in a company called Trig. And he then last week decided to sell them all, and he sold them for literally pennies, to be fair, but it raised him nearly 850, 900 euros. And he was ecstatic. It was the first time he's ever made any money online or in any business, to be fair. And he paid sort of 280 whatever it was into in euros into his memberships, and pulled out 900. And if that's what he wants to do, that's absolutely fine. Personally, I think he was a fool, because the bottom line is you wait for them to go up, and you have your own exit plan. But the fact that he done that is absolutely fantastic, because he's happy. His wife's happy, but whether or not she'd be happy if the same thing happened to the Apple guy, and this was floating around the internet back last week or 2 weeks ago, where a 10% owner of Apple in 1976 sold all his shares for $500. If he kept them, they would have been worth $16.5 billion. Now, that's nothing that happens every day, but who knows with some of the companies that we got, especially companies such as Fantrack, which are well, quite frankly, they're talking telephone number money, but that's just incredible. But that is up to the individual what they want to do with this. It's your choice. It's their choice. It's total freedom as to what you want to do now. Membership, I got to change this. There's no such thing as a silver anymore. That's been discontinued. So it starts off at gold and up to black diamond. So it's from 89 to 990 euros per month. Obviously, the more you pay, the more shares and benefits you get. Like as an example, if you was a gold member and you had, as an example, 100 shares in 1 week, at platinum you'd get 195. The amount of share allocations actually go up exponentially. So the more you, like a Ruby, I think it's 495. I'm going to in front of me now, but it's a lot. It's not 5 times the amount, but it's a lot more than 5 times the amount of shares. Okay, so the bigger the package, the more benefits that you actually got, which is great. So membership benefits: free weekly share allocations. If you're at platinum or above, you get shares on a Wednesday night, and you get the option pool shares on a Friday or a Saturday morning. You get access to the VA trading platform, and if you get good at this, and once again, we are not trained financial advisors or trainers on how to trade. We can't advise people on it. It's against the code of conduct. All we are offering membership to a club, to our friends and our families, and that is brilliant. I'd say this to everybody: I have been in networking for a long, long time, and this is the only thing I would ever consider putting my father in. who's an 80 years old, and he's quite happy paying his membership and getting his shares. Okay, it's not something I would never put him into an internet business, because quite frankly, he doesn't know how to turn the computer on. And you know, when I showed him something on Google, he said, "Oh, that's good. Have I got Google on my computer as well?" And he's actually made money out of this, which is quite amazing. But anyway, that's another story. Viral Angels bonus program, you can participate in that, and that's quite extraordinary. You've got education and training through VA TV, and you can also order a prepaid card directly from T24, and that's a fantastic card. It rolls up to $50,000, and you get a little priority pass, which means you can go into airport lounges, unless you're in Terminal 5 in Heathrow, which only allow British Airways one, which is very upsetting. Okay, why is VA better? First of all, in the normal way of investing, you would have to find the right company. Just like the company which phoned me up 2 days ago, they advise people on where to put their money, and they take a commission for it, which is, but they were looking at severe amounts of investments, talking tens of thousands. You need solid personal capital, which, to be honest with you, most people who join VA haven't got. They need knowledge and experience, which we haven't got. When people say, how do you, how does the people pick the company? What does this company do? What does that company do? Quite frankly, I don't want to know, because if I knew, I wouldn't be in VA. I'd be doing this myself. And the reason I'm in Viral Angels is because I don't have to have the knowledge and experience of the ins and outs of an IPO. Until I got involved with VA, I didn't know what an IPO was, initial public offering. Okay, so you don't need the knowledge and experience, because it's done for you. All you do is pay a membership to a club and offer the opportunity to others if you so wish. If you don't, then you don't have to. And earlier on, when I done a training, I showed my sisters who were sat with me. I showed my sisters' back office rather than my own, because it's a much better example of what can be achieved. And all she's done is paying her €89 for 19 months, and her shares were. And I showed this on the screen, that if she was to sell her shares today, she's looking at $7 grand, which is a tidy return on investment, if you ask me, because she works in the bank anyway, and she's offering people savings accounts at 0.75% per year, which is not particularly brilliant. Okay, so I think that her return of probably 350, 400% on her investment is slightly more appealing than 0.75% in a bank minus tax. The VA way, VA will do it for you. It's an affordable monthly fee. There's no experience required, and you can sell your shares whenever you want, even before they're listed. Do I think that's right? No. The aim of the game is to wait until the shares go public and then sell them, because that's when they're going to go up in value. So you can trade shares before they're listed. There's no broker fee. There's no share cost, and there's high profit with the companies that we're dealing with. Now, also, you can build your club, build your membership club, and you get bonus in 5 levels: monthly bonus, leadership bonuses, quarterly cash bonuses, annual leadership bonuses, special promotions, and bonuses in shares. Now, there's an affiliate commission link to this. So, as an example, if you was a platinum, or you brought a platinum member on board, then you would get 15 euros real-time bonus. That's instantly into your back office as soon as they actually make the payment. And that goes 6, 3, 3, 6 down to level 5. But the nice thing is this: if you come in with a gold package and you introduced a black diamond, you would still get the 105 euros. You don't have to buy yourself up the levels to get maximum benefit from the commissions, which is completely and utterly unusual for this sort of industry. If you want to, in a lot of the things that I get told about, if you want to have maximum commissions, you've got to invest a lot of money, and you've got to have the top package. You've got to have an emerald, ruby, clustered diamond with bells on before you actually got any decent kind of income from it. We don't do that. This is not pay to play, as they say. My God, I'm turning into a poet. Right, senior manager, you get a monthly bonus of 300, executive 500, director 750, senior director 1,000, and executive and president is 1,000 as well. But on top of this, you get these leadership bonuses, like executive manager, director, and they go from 0.5 to 2.5% per month, and that is paid out on any people below your level 5. This is awesome. sponsor Anders, his 5% bonus was 26,500 for one as director, and he was close on. I think he said 30,000 as senior director, which is pretty serious kinds of money. Because realistically, when you're offering somebody, you're not giving them any. There's no risk. There's always a risk, but I'm saying there's a minimum risk, because if you take just from the 21st of August, when Athabasca shares started coming up, they are now worth more than last week when they went up really high, because they do tend to go up and down a little bit. They were worth double, so we had double back what we'd actually paid in membership fees, and just in one stock. So it's unbelievable the amount of value that we actually receive in the product, and that's why it's so important to understand, is that even if somebody wants to come into this and just sit down as a passive saver, that's absolutely fantastic. Like I said, 25,000 members, even the last person who comes in to VA will make money, and that is exciting. So your estimated monthly bonus and monthly incomes from the plan range from $250 to 17,000 a month, and believe me, they're grossly understated. So basically, all I'm saying is make a decision. Be one of the first in this new opportunity. We are now the largest private equity club in the world, and this is the chance to start making money. And like I said, we have not. We're going to cap off at 25,000 members. The time to build this is now, not next year, as such, because we're estimating sort of late summer, early autumn of next year. Then doors will be shut, which means that if somebody wants to come into this, they're going to be in a queue. And how many people do you know who have been involved with this industry where they say, you do something once and then you get paid for the rest of your life? Well, quite frankly, I probably know 2 or 3 people in my entire career who have been able to retire. It's very, very few. But imagine this: this will give you a true residual income, because when the doors are shut and people have, if a gold member, if they pay in the gold and they're getting €4,000 a year, what are they going to do? Well, first of all, they're going to upgrade, because if they go to platinum, then they're going to get 8,000, 9,000 euros profit. So people will not leave unless they're stupid. But then if somebody leaves, there's always going to be a queue to come back in. So it gives you total security on as far as the network goes. So anyway, with that, I'll hand you back to Adrian, and then he can finish off.
Okay, thanks, Gerwin.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah, any questions, guys? And you can pop it in the chat. It's all looking pretty quiet at the moment. The chat, that is. But
oh, you've got. I see you found the Daily Mail article. I like that.
How did the training session go at 8 o'clock? Because I only caught the back end of it, the last 5 or 10 minutes, because they're rushing back. How did it go?
I got another 15% of upload, so it'll be uploaded by 10 o'clock.
So the training session at 8 o'clock is recorded then?
I'll put it into the Skype.
Okay, that's great.
Yes, you are, Cregan. There's about 5,000. It's 5,500, I do believe, at the moment. 5,600 actual members. I think we're just about approaching 25,000 members now, as far as members are concerned. But free members do not count. Okay, free members don't count. It's only paid members.
Mm.
How many do I get if I'm God? Oh, God, right. Okay. I thought God can have as many shares as he wants. It varies. It varies, Greg. And over the past couple of just take it last month, then I would imagine that a gold member had, I think it was 82 shares in Athabasca and a certain amount in New Motor Media. But generally, the amount of shares you get are equal to or above the membership. Okay, so it's not a case of how many shares you get, it's what is the value of those shares. One share at £100 is exactly the same as having 100 shares at £1. So it's not really relevant how many shares you get, it's what the value of those particular shares are.
Yeah, let me share my, while you're talking, Garen, I'll just share my screen and log into my back office, make it a bit more interactive. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
So this is the allocation part here, and if you click on allocation history on the left here, that's where it gives all the previous months and over the last 2 years. Is that right?
Yes.
So basically, I'm actually an Emerald member. What I've noticed is Emerald members always get a bit.
Yeah, that doesn't take into account the exponential one. They just double it up. All right, but it's a higher percentage than that.
What I mean is, there's always odd days, like Emerald and Diamond and Black Diamond. They always get the odd days, like the 14th today, or yesterday rather. From Emerald up, they were the only ones that had free extra shares.
Correct. It's a different pool.
Yeah. So as an Emerald member, I'm always getting these extra bonuses compared to the rest, which is quite handy.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
A lot more.
Right, okay, and let me answer Ian Smith's question. You're going to have to deactivate your account, or this is a job for support, because if you pay Ruby, the Ruby's not going to start until the 17th of November. So you'll have to get it deactivated. They can refund you on that, and then you can start a Ruby one. So now we got telephone support. Then it's going to take a lot of pressure off me passing it through to Anders. Okay, so. That's what you need to do.
You want to explain this by your gallery? This is my holdings page. This is the holdings I've got at the moment.
Yeah.
Explain these. People get confused with these three columns here. The total value.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so, the total value is just based on the last share sale, right? So, for instance, if somebody goes and puts an offer, and if somebody goes and does a trade now for 0.37 at trig, then that's going to double. Okay, but so you can't. That is the total value based on the last trade of the last trade price. But the best way to look at it is like what you've done there. If you take Athabasca at the moment on the purchase value, right, then you paid 550 euros for them, but they're worth 923. If you take Origenics, you paid 1,069 for them. They're now worth 3,765. Okay. If you take Best of All Worlds, you paid 572 for them. They're now worth 1,178. Okay, you now on the IB you probably bought them a little bit too much, right? So you paid 531, they're now 262, but that's only based on the last trade, so that might be wrong.
That's actually incorrect. That is, because Connect IB, I'm actually well in profit because.
Okay, obviously it counts the allocations as well.
Yeah. Okay,
so if you go down a little bit further into fan track, then let's take eSport Challenge. Yeah, hang on, just keep it still, Adrian. I can't read it.
I moved back to the other one now, to the holdings, the other one.
Yeah, so basically that's what's paid for. Sorry, Ian, did you actually what did you upgrade to? Did you upgrade to Ruby or did you upgrade to Platinum or what? Okay, I'll come back to that. But that's basically what that means.
Mm.
Okay.
Right. What about we have explained these yellow lines. I think last week it was quite new, wasn't it? Last week the yellow lines.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, there's fan track, for example.
Okay. If you take the one with the yellow lines through it, they're actually company offers, so they're coming directly from FanTrack. So they're not being sold to you by other members. All the ones which are not in yellow are just basically offers from other members, whereas the ones in yellow are offers directly from the company, and they do carry 11% commission on them. So if, for instance, if somebody went in and bought X amount of FanTrack shares at 0.65, then 11% would be paid out into the pay plan. But to receive, and that's in shares, not in cash. And to receive that, you have to be Ruby or above.
Yeah, I've already had a few of those.
Yeah, so you've got to be Ruby or above before you'll start qualifying for the share commission, the share commissions from them.
Yeah. Right. Okay. I was just saying there, just look at that. Look at the screen now. I'm not sure if you can see the screen now. These Connect IB, see them there?
Yeah.
On this line here, I actually sold 100 shares here at Connect IB on the 11th of October, a few days ago, at 3.25.
Yeah.
I actually bought them back then. See on the next lineup, I bought 3 different trades at 25 each at 2.68.
Yeah, so you made a profit there of roughly 15%.
Yeah, I also bought the next line up again. See I bought another 50 shares in Connect IP at 2.75.
Yeah.
So I actually sold them at 3.25 and bought them back at 2.68 approximately.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's what I tend to do, and obviously that's what you're doing quite a lot as well, isn't it? You're selling at a high price and buying back when it dips.
Correct.
But it's not for the sort of for the beginners.
The point is you don't have to do this, and it's not something that we can train people on how to do it. They've just got to go in and play with it. You know, as long as you use the golden rule, which is buy low and sell high, then you can't go wrong. Don't buy high and sell low. That's that won't work. So.
But basically, at the end of the day, to keep it simple, all you need to do basically is just set up a savings plan and just keep it simple.
Exactly, and talk to people about it. You know, after your first month, and you can go and say, look, I've put in 89 euros because the exchange rate at the moment is pretty rubbish. It's like a platinum membership at 145 euros is working out at 117 pound.
Mm.
You know, whereas 3 months ago it was 127.
Yeah.
You know, so there's a bit of the exchange rate is a bit different now.
Do you know if we got any new companies coming on? Any more new companies?
There's going to be an announcement this week about another company coming on, but they've got lots in the pipeline, lots. But they can't go dumping them all on at once because obviously it's the financial side of it. They got a certain amount to invest in different companies.
Yeah.
You know, which is what they use the membership fees for, which is to invest in different companies, and then we then take a stake in them, which is brilliant. No, let me get back to Ian. No, Ian, you're going to have to get support to cancel it and refund it to you, and then start a Ruby.
And people can start ringing support as of tomorrow. Is that correct now? Tomorrow?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Can I just say something? That Jana Wolgren, who's the financial controller of VA, he's actually over in. He's training the guys now. Okay, so there's about, I think there's going to be 10 of them. So I'm just saying, please be careful. Be patient with them. They're new, and they don't want to get bombarded with lots of questions, which are not relevant to them. Most financial questions will have to go to like Ian's question. There's a perfect example of what one needs to go to support, right? Because we can't answer that as the upline. So, but support need to be involved with any changes of subscriptions, etc., like that. If somebody wants to upgrade, so just bear with them and be patient with them because they've only been trained up for 4 days. Give them a couple of weeks, they'll be up to speed on everything. So, as the business as the business is developing, obviously they want to give the members as much support as they possibly can. But I just say please don't. People will be phoning them up to me to ask them complicated questions. I'm sure there's some people out there like that, just to see if they know it. So bear with them is what I'm saying. And
the number you ring is an 01 number, isn't it? So you're ringing at
it's Birmingham, which is really surprising because the actual support is in Lahore.
Yeah.
There's a support in Lahore, but you're ringing Birmingham. So work that one out.
Yeah. And what was you saying earlier, Garen? I was talking to you earlier quickly about Saraya. She's thinking of possibly setting up a meeting, a business meeting in London. Is that right? On a monthly basis? Is that?
Yeah, we're going to be starting one. We're starting one down here in South Wales. Also, I will know in about 20 minutes whether or not, I am coming over, where I'm going to be in Ireland. So if you've got any teams in Ireland, we're going to hopefully do a meeting up in Belfast. And then I will be doing a meeting in a place called Carlow, which is about an hour south of Dublin. So we'll be doing two there. The meeting in Carlow will be on the Sunday afternoon. The possibility is we'll have to discuss this and confirm it up, but I'm hoping to do a meeting in Belfast on Saturday, okay, which is a week Saturday. So if we can, if you know anybody over in the Emerald Isle, then that's great. No, James, it's not.
Well, that'd be quite interesting to get a meeting in sort of either be in central London or on the outskirts, because there's a lot of people. That's an easy place to get to London, isn't it? That's what most people like meetings to be in London, don't they?
Yeah, exactly. Gregan, I don't understand. What are the earnings from what? Your earnings from the business, or however hard you work at it.
Just to answer that question there, from Gregan, yeah, you've been in the business just over 2 years, Gavin, and you've acquired shares of around is it around €300,000, isn't it? Last time I looked.
320, but after the windfall campaign, it'll be about $500,000.
All right.
Which really makes the pay plan completely insignificant, to be fair. Even though the pay plan is very good and you can make tidy money out of it, the actual shares put the pay plan into insignificance. Absolutely, because the value of the product is so high.
But you have been, in the last few months, obviously, you've been building for around 18 months, but you've started to take money out in the last 4 or 5 months?
Since April, I started taking money out, yeah.
And you've been averaging around, it's about €5,000, is it, a month, something like that, is it, taking out?
A bit more than that.
A bit more, yeah. And obviously, if any people if any of the team here want to bring in prospects into a three-way call with ourselves, we can show them as proof, can't we?
Yeah. Yeah, Greg, and the value of the shares when you actually take the share, when they give it to you, you've got to understand that the shares are incredibly low, right? Because the aim of this is to away from the go IPO, but recently I would say the value of the shares approximately 20% more than what the membership is, on average. Okay, but that varies month to month, because if you get shares in pre-IPO companies, it's like, look at Athabasca. When we first had them, they were 40 cents. Well, now they're trading around about £1. They did shoot up to £2.50 2 weeks ago, and then they sort of settled down. But what about that company's going IPO very shortly? And a massive oil company called TXO, which is an investment company which just specializes in investing in oil companies. They just bought 20% of Athabasca because obviously they can see something in it. So, God knows what the price of that share is going to be when it floats. I'm keeping my fingers crossed it's going to be in double figures. Wouldn't that be nice if Athabasca goes and floats at 10, 15 quid?
When is Athabasca floating? Is that in about a month, couple of weeks, months or weeks?
It's supposed to be weeks. It was supposed to be going the end of September, but we know how these things get delayed. So, but they're still aiming for it to be in this quarter. So we could expect it any time. But it's not an exact science, because obviously they got all the legislation and all the red tape to cut through first.
But at the end of the day, this is definitely not a get rich sort of quick fix scheme, is it? One of those things. This is a long-term investment sort of plan, isn't it?
Absolutely, it's not. This is no way like anything else out there. It's completely unique, and quite frankly, if you imagine every day I get offered opportunities, and the recent one seems to be bitcoins, and there's nothing guaranteed. You don't know who the admins are of these programs. You've got no real. You're just taking a shot in the dark with a lot of it. Whereas, when you come into VA, you've got the opportunity to meet the CEOs of these companies. I know Matthew from Fantrack has been speaking to a lot of people because they know celebrities who might be interested in joining Fantrack, and the guy is so helpful and open that it just blows people's minds that they got access to somebody that successful.
Yeah.
The person running the company, and it gives you a tremendous feeling of security, and I think that's what a lot of people are lacking at the moment, because there's been so much crap out there over the past couple of years, especially. That's why I'm happy with this, because I'm moving away from the network marketing industry. I feel with this business. Because the value is in the product, not in the recruiting of members.
Yeah, talking of celebrities, I'm absolutely gutted. Last Saturday, when I went to when I was up with the missus in the 5-star hotel in Cardiff, the Hughes Hotel.
Yeah.
We stayed there Saturday night. Went out to the Cardiff Bay for a meal with a few people. When we got up in the morning, we couldn't believe it. We were having breakfast, and on the next table to us was Peter Andre's missus and his little baby.
All right, okay.
and they were in the CIA, playing in the CIA the night before.
Well, Peter Andre was, or Peter Andre's missus?
Peter Andre was gigging in the CIA in Cardiff. It was his
Okay.
third time in Cardiff, and I was wondering why the traffic was chaotic getting into the hotel on 4 o'clock on Saturday afternoon.
Yeah.
Somebody tipped me off, and that Peter Andre's gigging in town.
Yeah. So he's in a five-star hotel, and yet according to the TV, he eats Iceland food for £1. You know what I mean? It's just not right.
I was quite gutted I didn't get a photograph. I think but it was one of those intimate situations. He was sitting there with his missus, who was apparently, she's 23, I think he's 39, isn't he? And the baby's about 6 months old now, so they had the baby with him, obviously feeding the baby. And nobody was going up to talk to them. They were just like, it was quite strange. The kitchen was quite packed out with people having their breakfast, overlooking the bay there, and I thought, we got to go and talk to him. This is daft, nobody's talking to them. And my missus got up there, Virginia, and started talking to his girlfriend and the baby, so I had no choice. I had to get up there to start talking to Peter Andre. I couldn't believe it.
You could have, and did you get him into fan track?
This is one of the missed opportunities. This is what it was only lasted about.
I can't believe that.
Yeah, you asked Virginia. She, I said, well, this is crazy. Nobody's going to believe us anyway. You probably don't believe me now, but we should have a photograph to prove it. But I was thinking, do I ask for a photograph and be turned down? Do I ask for an autograph? They were so rushed off their feet and rushing to go, and he wasn't looking his best. He had a Crombie hat on.
Yeah.
He looked like he'd had a good night out, if you know what I mean. And personally, I don't think he wanted to be photographed. So even if I'd asked him, he'd probably said no.
Yeah.
So it was a very delicate situation. He was really nice. I just said to him, what was it like last night, the gig? He said, oh, the Cardiff people love us. It's the third time here.
Yeah.
He was packed up, and I said, what type of song? I got no idea what type of things he plays, except that number one he had. What was that number one he had?
I don't know.
Something girl one. He had a number one song, didn't he?
Are we going off track a bit here?
Mysterious Girl, he asked the one. Anyway, I said to him, what type of songs do you sing? He said, oh, well, do you do your own songs or covers? I just thinking of something to say to him. He said, yeah, I do a few of my own songs, but mainly a lot of covers. Frank Sinatra, Robbie Williams, and things like that. I said, you do only Tom Jones? And he said, yeah, I do the odd Tom Jones number. It was quite comical, really. It was all over in about 3 or 4 minutes flat, and they had to shoot off. So if anyone's going into Cardiff, that's where all the superstars, these celebrities, that's where they stay, in the St. David's Hotel. That's the only 5-star hotel in Cardiff.
Anyway, we know where we're going to hang out now. Can I answer Raheem's question? Raheem, James has already said that, but it's entirely up to you when you sell shares. We don't and can't advise on it.
Yeah.
Because we're damned if we do and we're damned if we don't. And with this one, because if we make a mistake, then it's our fault. So it's got to be up to the individual when they decide to sell. If you think it's a good deal, then go for it. So there we go.
Yeah. Did you answer that question then from Raheem about New Motor Media? You just answered that.
Yeah, I just answered it. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to have to love you and leave it because I've got to take a call from Ireland now in a couple of minutes.
Right. Okay then. So like I said, we're doing this every Wednesday, 9 o'clock. But we really need to get the numbers up, don't we?
Does company buy shares for me, or do I need to do it for myself? No. Gregan, you're allocated free shares every Wednesday, and if you're platinum or above on a Saturday as well. If you wanted to buy extra shares, then you just upload some money, and that's entirely up to you what you want to buy. But you are allocated shares as part of your membership every week. Okay, so you'll notice an email come in an hour or two, in 2 hours' time, saying that you have received your shares today. Okay, but yeah, guys, like Adrian said, we're doing these webinars. It's very important to get prospects onto them because that's if you want to build a business, if you want to be a passive saver, that's absolutely fine. But if you want to offer this tremendous opportunity out to other people, then just get them on here, and we'll do the.
And this promotion is still on for the next 3 months, isn't it? If anyone can get up to senior trader at least before the end of this month.
Yeah.
They'll then be on for the next 2 months, won't they? For extra, I think I got a €26,000 possible bonus.
Yeah, and you'll go executive manager this month, so that's going to jump you. That's going to double that.
Yeah, my target, I have to get 40 new people on in my group over the next 3 months. So that's 120 people. 40 in October, 40 November, 40 December. And if I hit those 3 months targets, I'll be given €26,000 in 4 different companies, won't I?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so guys, it's been a pleasure. Let's pack this webinar out next Wednesday, and don't forget that we have a presentation as well on a Sunday evening at 8 o'clock, and we also have the back office training at 8 o'clock on a Wednesday as well. So if you want to build this business, then please just plug people into these things. It's the easiest way to do it, and also wait for the news now as to where we're going to be doing meetings locally as well. So there we go. So I'm gonna sign off now, and thank you guys. And Adrian, I'll talk to you later. All right.
Thanks everyone.
Okay. Cheers, then. Bye.
Wednesday. Thanks everyone. Cheers. Bye.